Hemoglobin. What is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is a macromolecule. It's classified as a globular protein. Globular proteins are vaguely spherical-shaped proteins that are one of the most common protein types. They are water-soluble. Hemoglobin cells can be found in blood cells. Hemoglobin can be found in blood cells, and it's created in the bone marrow. Hemoglobin has a quaternary structure, which is a protein that is formed of multiple other proteins. In this case, hemoglobin is made of 4 smaller proteins. The job of hemoglobin. The primary role of hemoglobin is to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. It gets transported from the lungs to the rest of the body. It also gives red blood cells their shape and their red color. The importance of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is essential to the survival of humans. Without it, blood wouldn't be able to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide in or out of the body. Molecules like hemoglobin are very important to life, so large organisms are able to grow and thrive. Nearly all vertebrate animals have hemoglobin. Without it and other molecules with the same function, life could have stayed as individual cells and bacteria forever. Diseases related to hemoglobin. Because hemoglobin is essential to the body, any condition that affects the production of hemoglobin is extremely bad for the body. An example of this is sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is when your body incorrectly produces hemoglobin, leading to a deformation in blood cells and a lack of oxygen. The deformation in blood cells can make blood clots more likely to occur. Structure of hemoglobin. Globin chains. Hemoglobin is made of 4 polypeptide chains called globin chains that are linked together. These 4 globin chains are responsible for holding hemoglobin's prosthetic group. They are also responsible for giving the protein form. There are different varieties of these globin chains, like alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. The globin chains that compose a molecule of hemoglobin can vary depending on the age of the individual. In adults, it contains 2 alpha globin chains and 2 beta globin chains. In babies, it contains 2 alpha chains and 2 gamma chains, which gradually get replaced by beta chains. Varieties of globin chains. There are also certain unique varieties of hemoglobin because there are different globin chains. These varieties occur in low concentrations, however, with the 2 alpha and 2 beta chain hemoglobin being by far the most dominant. For example, hemoglobin A2 contains 2 delta globin chains and 2 alpha globin chains, and it only occurs at about 3 to 5% in adult humans. Heme. The structure of hemoglobin, heme. Each of these globin chain subunits has one of a molecule called heme. This is what gives hemoglobin its main function. Heme is what is known as a prosthetic group. It's not a protein, and it's not composed of amino acids, but the rest of the protein uses it to function. It is necessary in order to bind oxygen to transport from the lungs to the rest of the body, and carbon dioxide to transport back to the lungs. The formula of heme is 34 carbon, 32 hydrogen, 1 iron atom, 4 nitrogen, and 4 oxygen. Heme accounts for 4% of the weight of hemoglobin. It's made of a ring-like organic compound called porphyrin. An iron atom is attached to it. The iron atom is what gives blood its red color. The iron atom in the center is used to form an unstable and easily reversible bond with oxygen. Because there are 4 globin chains, there are 4 heme groups in a single molecule of hemoglobin. This means that each molecule of hemoglobin can bind with 4 oxygen molecules. Functional groups of heme. 2 vinyl groups, 2 propionate groups, 4 pyrrole rings, which lend characteristics of absorption and fluorescence, and 4 methylene groups. Model of hemoglobin. The coils represent the chains of amino acids, or the globin chains, and bunches of molecules are the heme. The orange atoms are the iron atoms. As you can see, heme makes a circular shape with an iron atom in the center. When not bonded, the iron atom sticks out and returns to the same level as the nitrogen when bonded to oxygen. Something that is becoming more of an issue today is a lack of blood. Less and less people are donating blood, and soon situations where there's not enough blood for a patient will start to occur. To get around this, many scientists are trying to create hemoglobin-based blood substitutes. Doctors and medical staff will be able to use these blood substitutes when traditional blood is unavailable. These new kinds of synthesized blood are called hemoglobin-based oxygen carriers, or HBOCs for short. Many of these HBOCs have undergone extensive preclinical and clinical evaluation, but none have received approval in the USA or Canada for use. This is still a developing field, and several new kinds of HBOCs have been created with unique features. Conclusion. In conclusion, hemoglobin is an extremely large globin protein that is very important to the body. Without a molecule like hemoglobin to transport oxygen to the rest of the body and carbon dioxide out of the body, life wouldn't be the same as it is today.